Hello my fellow Ghoul Renegade, and welcome back to a brand new video of Ghoulish Reacts. And welcome to day 5 of Iris Week. Today we're going to be continuing the Valentin Renegade art, going through transmissions 4 to 8. Because I'm doing 5 videos each, so 4. So we start with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, that's how I kind of planned it out, to do 5 videos each, and then tomorrow will unfortunately be the last day when we'll finish up everything. I'm actually going to be doing tomorrow when I do day 6. I'm actually going to be watching 6 videos because I forgot about the Vegala transmission at the very end. So, oh well, that's just the price I have to pay. 1 extra video for 1 more day of Iris content. But anyway, we are watching transmission 4 now, so let's get into it. To kind of summarize what happened last video, we watched Gabriel's Final Will, we watched Transmission 1, Operation Baltorne 1, and Transmissions 1 through 3. So in the last transmission, Abram, Valentin, and Dovicom recently got the Ether Boulder. They destroyed the depths. Goliath became a skeleton. A lot of that's implied because I had to tell you guys that, because a lot of this story is coming from the Untitled Novel announcement video, which it's not in this playlist. So I think Will just wanted to leave that one out. So I'm only watching the videos that are in the playlist on Will Ryan Originals. So he left out the Untitled Novel announcement because I think it was more promotional for, you know, Dawn of the Demetrix at that time. And Project Demetrix has officially started on Abram's end. So, without further ado, let's just get right into this. Let's go. Let's go. Incoming transmission.
It's glowing. We've done it! Dovicom, status on retrieving signal.
Status indicates satellites are in sync with the Demetrix. Downloading all data twice the speed. New element added.
Ether. And what about output?
Analysts suggest power is limited and will require extra power to continue usage.
Of course, there's always a crux, isn't there? We must do better than that floating magical orb we found. What's the secret?
It seems an energy-only one in
Floating magical orb. Now, since we've watched the story of Vegala, that actually makes a lot more sense, because when I watched this the first time, everything that was explained in Story of Vegala didn't exist, like the Ripple Tide, the Velveta Veiling, the science, all this fantasy stuff, all the tools, and the... I think the glowing orb that Abram is now holding is a Vigil orb. Now, we saw these in Story of Vegala. This was an orb that was gifted to respected colonies in the kingdom of Vegala Infinity so that they could grow wiser and learn. So I'm thinking that is what Abram now possesses in his hand, is a Vigil orb. So he has a dystography of some kind taken from either the depths. I don't know how he got the orb. Maybe it got sucked through the wormhole. We don't know. But that's my best theory as what Abram is holding, because he's calling a floating magical orb. But it obviously has information that tells him that only an energy used in myth is able to power ether, other than what Dovicom's saying right now.
is required for ether to fully utilize its power.
What? So you're telling me we need that magic?
Yep.
So if I may make it creator, it will never truly be the
You
same.
can't test me, Dovicom! Find me an alternative, or I will obliterate your central data core!
Assessing world resources.
Remind me to install an empathy BIOS next time.
Alternative acquired. Kinetic energy from our human inhabitants can be retrieved by hacking into their brain chips synced to the satellites, which can be fed into the Demetrix. But it won't be enough. We need a central core to have it all operational.
And we'll focus on that later. That must be what the magic symbol must have been using. I know this. I've done my research. Ask all of my friends.
Friends sounds.
Let's get to work!
Of course.
Okay, so basically, to break that down in normal terms, they're going to hack into the Cairo chips that Gabriel made, and then sync it up to the Demetrix, kind of like a Bluetooth or a Wi-Fi connection kind of thing. And they're going to use the kinetic energy that humans use. So basically, movement, everything, because we all use kinetic energy. So like when we move, when we talk, when we walk, all that, we're all using energy in our bodies. You know, this is kind of like basic science class, like high school science almost. Actually, this is like middle school science. This is like the basic you could learn, most basic you could learn. So they're going to use the human's kinetic energy to power the Demetrix, but it's not going to be enough because they need a central core. So they need a big power unit for this whole process to work, for the energy to go infinitely forever, essentially.
No matter the dark or light that awaits you, obstacles have ways of putting you in your place. It's up to you how you overcome these obstacles. Whether you know it or not, they are merely fallen trees on your road. Have you ever heard of climbing? Keep climbing high, traveler, and the next obstacle on your path will be merely pebbles compared to boulders. However rocky your road is, never give up on finding your way.
The second video we will be reacting to today is Transmission 5. Let's get into it.
In all of my years, I've never been so disappointed.
Sir, despite all efforts to hack into the brain chips, there appears to be several setbacks. After strict analysis, while all memory banks are still intact, cognitive behavior has disappeared. It seems they are not the same anymore.
Not the same? What, have they suddenly just forgotten how to think?
Not quite, sire. It seems what we are gathering is a rather unsafe imbalance. Chaotic energy readings are emitting from our human inhabitants. Insufficient levels of vitamos Z, neurotransmission unstimulated. It appears they are vastly more enraged than ever before.
Angry. Well, I would be too if their world was ruled over by an anarchist.
Sir Valentin, I urge you to look outside now.
Oh, perfect. Has my loving audience come to grace as once more?
I wouldn't call them loving.
I wouldn't call them loving.
What? I don't understand. Why are their eyes glowing yellow? This is incredibly abnormal. But look, over there. They're all throwing each other under the bus. They seem to be feeding everybody unfinished building materials and for beating each other up with it. I dare say, it's the most pathetic and most hilarious thing I've ever seen in the past few years.
Like I was saying, sire, they are lacking the sufficient balance needed to keep their cognitive behavior alive. They are unlike their past selves.
So they're mindless meatbags walking the world.
Practically.
Well, I dare say, that makes things much easier to take over.
Of course.
Keep them in line. The Demetrix will undoubtedly be enough to keep them in order.
Demetrix protocol activated.
Oh, before we get to this next part, I would like to kind of explain. Vitamos Z is like a chemical that's inside of all of Nidorian's bodies, essentially. Like all the citizens of Nidoria. It's like something within them that pretty much makes them run, makes them function. At first I thought it was like oxygen, essentially. Like they're not getting enough oxygen in their brain to like stay cognitive, like their mind just is gone because they don't got enough of it. But then I started to realize maybe it's just a chemical within the body that because they're hacking into the Cairo chips, this chemical is not being produced in their body anymore, so thus turning them into these mindless zombies.
They're leaving. Sir Valentin, they're retreating.
Back to work you go! Ta-ta, you brainless half-wits!
Sir, as I suggested beforehand, we don't have enough power to keep the Demetrix operating as much. We need a central core to keep the kinetic energy going in full circle.
Excuse me? Why?
Have you ever heard of a circuit board, sir?
Have you ever heard of defragmentation?
Apologies, sir, but if I must recommend, it might very well be time to put your new biotechnology to the test.
Project Biobond? You think that might work?
Providing you have a sufficiently compatible vessel, I can confirm the kinetic energy can resonate with enough force through our combination of biology and technology.
A new vessel? Well. It seems we might actually have a purpose for him after all. I found the perfect lab rat. Welcome home, brother.
Oh.
It's been all too long.
Plague has hit the earth, and yet we still stand tall as a unison. Anger can come from a place of emotional passion, and when passion runs through our very blood, can we afford to keep it under control? Express your passion as much as you can. We can be our very own colony, one that may very well bring balance back to our once loving planet. Will you join us in our army, or will you succumb to the jaws of the plague?
So yeah, it is revealed that Abram's brother is officially Project Biobond. Now, I'm not going to say anything of what Project Biobond is, but it's going to show up in, I believe, the next couple of transmissions. It's going to show up in the next transmission, I believe. But yeah, basically, Jebediah, Abram's brother, is still alive. You guys are honestly wondering how Abram is keeping him alive. He's keeping him alive through biotechnology, obviously, so he's still alive. But he's just not himself anymore, and that's all I can say. The third video we will be reacting to today is Transmission 6. Here we go.
I don't care! Open the door!
Sir, think of your well-being. It's safer that you don't see him like
Do
this.
you think I could give any less of a damn? I demand to see my family now!
Oh, jeez.
So long as you know what you're getting into.
I should have your head chopped off the shoulders they rest on! Now step aside, or I'll make it a reality!
Very well. Requesting immediate authorized entry for Sir Valentin.
Locked out of my own facilities. I'm the hierarchy here!
True. There he is.
You were always locked away, weren't you, brother? You know, I picked up after this family for so long, trying to rebuild what was so very corrupt. What were you doing in that time? Making peace with strangers in a forest. Always so useless. That's how you see all this progress? A cruel punishment? Have you ever wondered why dictatorship exists, brother? People are so bent out of shape, fickle-minded. Dictators are here to bring order to a world that is so unbalanced. Freedom. Shut up! Oh, I'm sorry. Pain? It hurts? Oh, bless your feelings. What of it? Going to have your tree friends cradle you like a baby? Nobody was ever there for me when I needed help. How on earth were you going to help me? Our father made an empire that needed to be reformed. You ran away from that opportunity. You left me to rot. It's about time you came home and made proper use of yourself. Now you can feel the pain I have been grieving alone with for decades.
He's probably right
You
there.
really think Father's still looking down on us? Oh, if I could only speak to him now and tell him how much I hated him. But it would amount to nothing.
So, preparations for the showcase are almost complete.
Brother, I don't quite imagine you ever got the grandest scale of your kindness, did you? You were always so sweet, so dedicated to love. Tell me, what if the world got to see how kind you really were? Oh, put a sock in it, you ungrateful sap. You want to show the world love? I'll give you your grand entrance.
Your kindness will be taken as a sign of weakness to someone willing to prey on you. Excuses for your actions won't hold water to what your actions could become if you tread carefully, especially with those wishing to cover you under a black veil. Strive for the greater in your kind, and maybe we will all escape the glass casing we put ourselves in. Break free!
Okay, so to kind of explain what was going on there with Jebediah and why he's in like a big tank, essentially after Abram killed Jebediah, he brought him back to the Domeplex and pretty much stripped Jebediah from his body and codenamed him Project Biobond. Now Jebediah is nothing but a brain, eyes, and his central nervous system. Also a spine, I might mention. And he put him in a floating tank full of his own blood and kept him alive using technology. So, but what Abram plans to do with Jebediah is use him as a central core for the Demetrix. So basically, what he's going to do with Jebediah is he's going to hook him into this. He put him in a tank, essentially, and this tank is the central core. But what he's doing is he's hooked Jebediah's brain into the Demetrix, which is also hooked up to the satellites, which is also hooked into the citizens' Cairo chips. But the Demetrix is also hooked up to the internet. So all of this information from the internet is also flowing inside and outside of Jebediah at all times. And every time Jebediah gets zapped, he exerts this siren of searing pain. And Jebediah, in a one-off video, he explains that this siren is used to keep people away from the Domeplex, from even a chance of coming here. But it's also the same siren used when the Demetrix is activated. So every time Jebediah essentially gets electrocuted, he feels extreme pain from it, and he wishes that Abram would have just killed him and that would have just been it. He doesn't want to be the Biobond trapped forever in this glass tube. He would have just rather died than be trapped like this, because he's helpless. He's useless. He can't do nothing. He doesn't have arms to move. He doesn't have legs to walk with. He can't move. He's stuck in a tank. All he can really do is kind of like float around like a fish, if you can even call it that. The fourth video we will be reacting to today is Transmission 7. Now, honestly, I gotta say, this is my favorite transmission out of all of them, because I just love the grand exhibition and spectacle that Abram puts on here, and it really defines his character of how evil he truly is. And the pain that Jebediah goes through this, it's bad, but we'll see. Let's go.
Fellow subjects, feast your delicate attention towards your ruler, Abram Valentin.
Oh, and also from this point on, Dovicom has a new look, so that's cool. He will go back to, I think, his little circle spiral thing, but I like how for the exhibition, or the showcase, as Dovicom called it, he has a new look.
After many months of silence, some of you may find yourselves...
Oh, and I would like to also mention, other than Demetrix, this is also Dovicom, the face thing. It's also the new symbol for what Abram is now going to call the Valentin Renegade. So he's changing the name, essentially, with this exhibition as well.
The wit's end of chaos. Take a good look at what your world has become. Anarchy, flames, vapors riddled with sickness. Are you happy to be living in this world?
Yeah.
Well, fear not. Subjects, what I'm about to show you is the key to rejuvenating this city and its people. It'll mark the end of dystopia and bring in a new age of energy. I would like to present to you our finest circus attraction we like to call Project Biobond.
Ugh. And see, that is the cruel thing about all this, is that Abram, he doesn't even regard his own brother, his own blood-related brother, as a person anymore. He calls him a circus attraction. That's just harsh. That's cruel.
Isn't it such a marvel to behold?
No, it's kind of
Now,
creepy.
I know many of you might be wondering what this means. What you see in this large tank is the nervous system of a living human being who merely sacrificed themselves to be a part of the new beginning. This kind and gentle man is my brother, Jebediah. Bless his soft and squishy heart. Oh, you just want to hug him to death. This fine addition to the Domeplex allows us to recycle those harmful chemicals floating around the ecosystem and usher out pure natural vitamin C into the air, filtered through this central core. Oh, and while we're at it, this core is connected to our brand new emblem above the Domeplex. See it up there? It's very nice, isn't it? I made it! Allowing us to channel new and refreshing signals to your Cairo chips, blasting through dozens of satellites in the sky, right back down to you. Meaning your gadgets will return to normal again. With this, we can recycle our tarnished fumes and bring back the world a new and prosperous energy source.
So Abram has disguised the whole the Demetrix as a energy refueling for their planet, essentially. So to bring back their world, to make it better, to heal it. But when really, he's just using it as a tool to take over their minds, to corrupt the people, essentially, and gain full control of the planet that he's wanted for so long, because he despises Gabriel. He despises his own father. So he wants to destroy everything that he created so he can have it all.
Oh, what am I saying? You folks want a show?
Yes!
I've got it! Dovacom, initiate the project!
Project Dimitrex activated.
Oh crud, here we go. Ooh! Oh, Jeb got zapped. No! My boy.
Are you starting to notice anything different, citizens?
New frequencies added to the carrier chip library. Transferring data now.
Oh, and don't worry about our noble sacrifice, folks. That siren is not of pain and grief. This is merely a cry of joy. Watch as he swims around the tank. Why, he's so very happy.
Oh. No, stop. Stop hurting Jeb.
Keep that fun to yourself. Get rid of this guy, hogging all the fun.
Oh. Dang, man, he's so cruel, especially with Jeb. It's like, oh, it's not a siren of pain and grief. That's exactly what he is. Jeb says it himself in like an one-off video that is exactly what it is. It's him screaming because he has no lungs. Oh, and the other thing, if you guys didn't notice, when he was talking to Abram, Jebediah also speaks purely in binary code. No, wait, sorry, not binary. He speaks in Morse code, the do like the SOS code. Yeah, he speaks in Morse code essentially.
Of course, this is just the beginning. We call upon you, our fellow plague walkers. We will soon be rolling out an enrollment process for you to volunteer your time and services to the cause. The more people we have, the more energy we can bring back to our planet. And pray to the heavens beyond we may be able to bring ourselves back to reality. We have switched the tides of our previous rulings. We are no longer the Valentin legacy. We are the Valentin Renegade!
That's when they make the switch, at this moment.
Betrayal and deception can come from closer places in the outside world. It is why it's so very important to know who's got your back and who's taking you for a ride. Paying
That's
for
true.
your close circles will only allow them to leech off your good graces and leave you rotting in the dirt when you cannot meet demand.
True as
Don't
well.
let your struggles become a circus attraction for everybody to laugh at. Only you know of your struggle, and the most trusting will empathize with you and push for your growth. But remember, the best lessons are the most brutally honest. Understand the difference and thrive.
The fifth and final video we are going to be reacting to today is Transmission 8.
Sire, I don't mean to intrude, but a matter of urgency has arisen.
If it's anything to do with accounting, you know that isn't my division. That's downstairs.
Sire, I don't think accounting is the real threat, given everyone is now playing.
Oh, splendid. Then false alarm. Back to the grind.
I'm afraid that is not an option right now.
Dovacom, are you here to grace me with kisses or slice my throat? Which one?
Depends on which you would like first.
Spill the news, for goodness sake!
I have detected large energy signals scattering just outside of our atmosphere, transcending across the cosmos. It seems a star must have exploded in outer space.
Now, this is very important to the lore. Okay, so after Goliath has become a skeleton, he realizes that he can actually help the people on Nidoria to be free from Abram's clutches. I don't know how Goliath figured this out, but the only way to do that is to blow up the star that is closest to the depths, and that is the Great Beyond. So Goliath essentially ends up, I think, finding some Onyx Colony soldiers, or maybe something like that, and they end up or Goliath does it himself, I can't remember. But in the story, Goliath blows up the Great Beyond, and that energy from the Great Beyond's explosion, its eruption, basically sends back an energy source to the citizens of Nidoria, freeing them from their mind control, freeing them from the man, I wish I could speak today. The Demetrix's control, and it brings back sentience to them. Like, they're no longer, well, partial sentience. They're like kind of half brainwashed, but not. They're starting to realize and wake up what's going on.
And you deem this as a threat? How?
Well, sir, when you couple the galaxy's happenings with the current resistance from our plague walkers, it seems some of that energy might have helped bring back partial sentience.
But they're resisting? I thought the Cairo chips were working perfectly.
Several civilians causing this world are roaming without Cairo chips, as the program was initially an optional implement. Several vigilante justice groups have banded together to swarm the Dome Blacks.
Did they not see the reception we gave them?
Sire, even you know all of that was a lie, and it seems some civilians saw right through it.
Exactly.
I heavily advise we proceed with caution. Grace, communication will be key.
Do you really think these peasants will listen to Grace? They're far past that point. These fools have no idea what they're about to put a stop to. Do they not see this is a chance to start the world over differently?
Again, they perhaps disagree, sire.
Well, if they won't swim with the waves will come crashing down. Dervicom, what say we push out the biotide program?
As you wish, sire.
They really thought resistance was an option. And you dared to think that empathy was gonna fix any of this. What, Dervicom? Go on, finish your sentence. Please enlighten me. What is it that you think I'm missing?
Nothing, sire. All is well, sire.
I thought nothing more and nothing less. As I have stated, if they won't listen to reason, we'll give them reason. Summon the biotide now!
Even throughout the midst of an ever-growing apocalypse, light always finds a way to reignite the spirit that was once darkened by demolition. It takes leaps with great strength to jump into things felt much further away than they actually are. All it takes is one jump to conquer it all. You may very well be surprised what happens when you leap for the great beyond.
Okay, and that is the end. Now, one thing I would like to mention, something interesting about the biotides, it's actually not told in the lore videos, but was actually released on a post from Will. It turns out that Gabriel actually invented Project Biotide, and they were meant to be a trash robot, kind of like Wall-E. They would go around the city and pick up trash and garbage and send it back to the Domeplex and reuse it for like energy and stuff like that. So it was like a green earth type thing, you know. It's kind of like what we do now with like making the earth, you know, better, making it more green, so things are easier, so we're not destroying the planet. But that's basically the biotide's original purpose. Now, during this point in the storyline, Abram actually teamed up with a corporation on Nidoria called VipeCorp, and he ended up turning the biotides into killing machines, essentially. So in the next Operation Baltorne video, which is right after this, we're going to see what the biotides can really do and what their new functions are. But unfortunately, guys, that's all the time I have today for this video, so please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications for when I upload new videos. Make sure to follow my social media links down in the description below to join the Ghoul Renegade. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye!